I'm glad it wasn't a real game. You know, the mentality was good, the effort was good. Obviously a little sloppy, but you know, scrimmages are hard. You come out and you play 6 innings, and if it's 10-9, you're certainly worried about your pitching. So the spirit of this team is really good. These kids, they really like to play. They're very serious about being good at baseball. They really like each other. We're as healthy as we've been, and we're at a really, really good starting point. And I think after a couple more weekends after this weekend of playing against each other, I think we'll be ready to play some really good baseball.
It's obviously so much turnover on the staff. How do you feel like the pitching staff is coming together at this point?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously the huge key is we don't have a lot of experience on the mound, but we've got arm talent. You know, we got guys who throw hard. We've got secondary pitches, and you know, I think it's really important for JJ and I to try to get guys in the right roles, maybe a little quicker than we did last year. But we've got some length to our staff, and there's not a lot of separation, so that's going to be really important these next 3 weeks. And I would even say the first 3 weeks of the season, you know, is trying to get the right guys in the right roles early.
I know he's been back for a bit, but just how good is he, Sam, out on the field? You mentioned you guys are healthy.
Yeah, Sam Prater's a big part of our club. You know, one is just a really good player, and I've said this a couple times. He's a really good offensive player, and he plays a defensive position. And he's another guy. He can't get enough time at the field in the batting cage. He's going to have a great season, and it's a big for us to have him back. I'm excited about Sam.
Who are some of the young guys you expect to kind of count on this year and know, okay, these are the faces of the program moving forward?
A bunch. You know, that freshman class is really talented, and some of those guys are probably going to be asked to do maybe a little bit more than they're ready for. But you know, pitching-wise, Connor Prelip has kind of separated himself from a stuff standpoint. He needs to get better, but he's going to pitch a bunch. Antoine John, excuse me, I've lost my French accent. Antoine is going to pitch a bunch for us. He's really talented, and he's going to have a great year. You know, Landon Green is a redshirt freshman. You know, he threw today. He had surgery right when he got here, but Landon's going to pitch a bunch. And positionally, Jim Jarvis is a guy that just keeps getting better. We're not going to be able to keep him off the field. And Zane Denton, Owen Diodati are 2 other freshmen that have really stood out. Miles Austin's really talented. He's going to get a lot of opportunity. Really glad Peyton Wilson's here. He can play anywhere on the field, and he keeps working hard to make me give him an opportunity. So, you know, there's a couple others, but those are several guys that you're going to see a lot of this year.
Just for you, how much more comfortable is it now going to your 3rd year? First day of practice for you, it's not the first day, but being that much more comfortable in this environment.
Yeah, you know, I would say I felt that way last year. The baseball piece as a head coach is an easy piece. This is what we've done our whole lives. You know, this is our comfort zone, is being on the field and with the kids. So I think I'm more comfortable seeing some of those athletes running around out there that we have. But you know, we got a great staff, we got great kids, and you know, they make it really easy for me when I come to the park.
What is the science of assigning guys to some of those pitching roles? How do you go about that decision-making process?
Well, you know, in a practice setting, you try to put different guys in different spots, and you know, to be a starting pitcher, you're hoping. Well, you want everybody to be strike throwers, but guys that can throw strikes with multiple pitches. If a guy really just has one pitch that you can count on, then it's harder for them to face a hitter 2 or 3 times. So, you know, the other thing is kids are allowed to get better. You know, you may have a young guy that doesn't throw a lot of changeups in high school because he doesn't want to slow the ball down for the opponent, and he gets here and works with a really talented pitching coach like JJ. And next thing you know, 4 months later, he's got a solid changeup. So, you know, that's what we do in scrimmages, is put different guys in different roles and spots and see how they respond. And, you know, we'll kind of have to piece it together as we go.
How much have you, or if you had even had time yet, to kind of consider, do you feel like this is kind of what you've been building toward? You got, what, 3 classes, at least 2.5 classes in that you recruited. You know, you've seen guys come through the program now, 3rd year. How much do you feel like that's what this team is for you?
Yeah, I'll say this. I think this, I'm not ready to make predictions on our club, but I think this team is what you're going to see going forward. And, you know, in the recruiting process, I kind of always err on athleticism and tools. And, you know, we've got some a lot of guys can play a lot of different positions, and I think that's important here with obviously with our scholarship limitations that we have players that are versatile, and I want to have balance. I want to have speed and power. I want to have velocity on the mound, but also want to have pitchability. So we have a very balanced club. Obviously, the biggest issues are inexperience on the mound, but I'm really, really excited about our freshman and sophomore classes. We've got some nice older pieces too, and I think when these freshmen and sophomores get some league experience under their belt, it's going to look right.